and out of nowhere, you just lose all acceleration. It's kind of neat feeling, actually. It's just so that happened. What's up, guys? Super freaking windy today here in Oregon. We are out here on Monday. We are picking up a trailer at this lot that I told you guys. You know, got to get the truck inspected, look at, make sure it's all good. And I cleaned the hell out of this truck. We're taking the smallest trailer out to Minnesota, and it's nice because it pays a decent rate. Definitely a lot better than central dispatch prices. Fighting the wind today, just getting this thing hooked up. I'm gonna go around it, so I just hooked up to it now. I'm gonna pull around, and then since it sits a little nose down, even with my hitch all the way up, I'm gonna raise the airbags so that the trailer itself sits level, because they're very picky about that, even though I'm very picky about that as well. So I'm gonna be pulling up now and getting out of here. All right, sorry about the wind. It is super windy. Got all the wiring done. Looks like a nightmare. Battery strapped down. This thing is tiny. It kind of sits towards the front a little bit. He said we were allowed to have a 4-inch difference. I can't really bring it up any more than what it is now, so he said it's perfect. All the lights work, everything's good. So we're gonna get rolling, and for what it is, headed to Minnesota. All right, so I made it to one of my first fuel stops of the, actually my first fuel stop of the day. So no mud flap area, so we're using EFS. Gonna fill up here at the Maverick and go over a couple things on the truck. It is windy as hell outside. Like there is, oh, it's just terrible. So there was a few things that I wanted to do. I guess I will start filling. I want to get rid of all of the trash back here, and battery is still intact. Everything's still good back here. So start by filling this thing up. I guess Oregon, gotta have a permit to fill up there to get it at a decent price or whatnot. I haven't ever been able to figure it out, so I just don't fill up in Oregon. So fill up here at the Maverick. What's it say? $319. Looks like we'll be getting it for like $288, I think it said. I got the coolant up to like 224 degrees pulling those grades. The wind is absolutely crazy today. When I did the coolant lines last time, I did not actually fill the coolant back up. I just kind of like threw what I had in it. So I definitely want to top it off. I have 3 gallons of coolant sitting in the back there, so I'm gonna get that taken care of. You guys can see I got a nice new setup here. You can see the duffel bag and my tote fits here. So this is actually, I'm pretty happy with this. And then I just need to make a frame for this thing so that it can sit a little higher. I kind of want this to sit like up here-ish or flush with this. I don't know yet. I want it to sit higher though, because every time I open it, the duffel bag kind of wants to go in it. And then I got to move that out of the way to slam it. So other than that, it's all coming together good. So I'm gonna fill this thing up with coolant, go over some things, check everything out, and we should be able to hit the road again. So I did go through, it took about a gallon of coolant, so I'm glad that I did that. I went through the other day, I didn't show anybody this, but I went through and actually put bolts in the whole way around. I don't know why this one keeps coming out. It's kind of dumb. But the rest of them, I went through and did evenly on each side, so this is evenly bolted. I took the tires off and everything, so it actually hangs pretty straight. You guys can see, here's what happened. There's that little section of the exhaust actually broke off because apparently I only welded it right here, and that lasted a year. So I'm gonna get that re-welded the whole way around when I get back so I can put the tailpipe back on. And since I'm getting a wedge, I don't know if I'm gonna get the back mud flap yet. I might, because it should protect the underside of that, but I don't know yet. All right, here's this thing. I believe it's doing fine. I have about 22 hours. I think it was a 23.5 hour trip. Been driving a few hours. This guy recommended to take the cover off of that. So I threw that in the toolbox. I did have to lower the air pressure a little bit because it was a little bit sway happy with the wind and everything. It just got extremely dark and windy. You guys can see all that out there. Sure what's going on, but you know, just keep on trucking. This trailer's really light, but like I'm cruising at, oh wow, one of the cones just blew over. I've been cruising at 70 miles an hour. I'm just sitting at 30 pounds of boost, which is a lot for this trailer because it's really, really light. like there's almost no load on the back of the truck, so I know it's really light. There's tumbleweeds everywhere. I just ran one over just now. Yeah, it's amazing how much harder the truck has to work through this wind. I wasn't expecting this, but it's like, it is really windy. So I'm gonna go stop at Lowe's real quick. We're like 13 minutes away from that. I wanna get new ones of these. So, and Lowe's is the place that has them. Home Depot apparently doesn't. And I don't like Lowe's. So I just pulled into Lowe's, right? You know, I obviously just got out, but I pulled into Lowe's and I was walking in as this lady was walking out with her kid. And, you know, she had a big 10-foot section of rolled up flooring and a couple other things, right? And she was talking to the kid about how, oh, so we need to go in and get somebody to help us with this and, you know, this and that. And I'm just like, and as I'm walking in and I hear this and I'm just like, so I stopped and I helped her out and I was like, do you need help? You know, yada, yada. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I go over, we walk the thing over to her truck. She's got an 8-foot bed on the back of this pickup truck and a table in the back that a ratchet strap fell off of. The thing was up against the back window. And I took it out of my time to go and help her. You know, I strapped everything down for her, made sure she was good to go. She had a half an hour to go until she got home. And I'm just like, why, what's it gonna hurt me to help this person, right? I didn't film it. There's no reason to, you know, do any of that. Just get out, help the person. She was super grateful about it, offered me some money or like buy food. And I'm like, no, okay, I don't want anything out of it. I just wanna be able to help somebody out, right? And she made a good point that a lot of younger people really don't help, and especially older people, and a lot of older people are even not even knowledgeable about certain things. Like I guarantee you, she'd have went in there in the Lowe's and said, ask somebody to, you know, strap this down for her and everything. I guarantee you nobody in that store knows how to use a ratchet strap. Like, that's just how it seems to be. So the point of this story is not to toot my own horn. The point of this is, if you see somebody struggling, just go and help them. It's not a big deal. You know, what are you really losing out of your day? And this lady was super happy. She didn't have to worry about anything flying out of the bed. And you make somebody's day. That's all that really matters. So get out, help people, do what you need to do. Us as younger people, I admit it, I try to keep to myself most of the time and not talk to people or any of that. But if somebody needs help, just go out and help them. It's not gonna hurt you. So, end rant, let's get back to the rest of the video. So I made these chops last night out of that insulation foil I went and bought. All right, another day. We are cruising. I think I've already worked today like 6, 7. I don't even know at this point. I got up at like 2:30. So I made some window chops last night. I'm gonna see if I like them first, which it seems like I am for the most part. I'm also gonna build one for the front windshield. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because I'm gonna use it to make a template. So these aren't permanent. I'm just gonna use them to make a template. And that way, I could probably install these on the outside like they do on the semi trucks, but also make it black. So I don't want to run them all the time. I just want to run them when I'm out on the road, in other words. So that's basically my thought process behind there. But I'll tell you what, these are 8 inches. They definitely, I tried a 6-inch at first and it was like way up here and I didn't like it. But it cuts down on the sun and the heat a lot and doesn't cut out this part of the window. So super happy about that. Some of the truckers were giving me weird looks last night when I was building them, but I'm like, you know what? I'd rather roll in comfort and not have to worry about it. But I do want to build one probably just under the line up front there. That way DOT can't say anything if, you know, I'm rolling through a scale and they want you to pull around, you can just pull it off real quick. So I'm also gonna make cutouts for all of that stuff. All right, got about 12 hours and 41 minutes on the GPS. I do need to go get fuel. I'm about to run out of fuel again. I didn't learn my lesson the first time, but it is what it is. So I just went in there and I strongly regret this decision. I went into the, whatever, the Town Pump Pilot, whatever. And you can smell the freshly cooked chicken. And I'm just like, I'm gonna come back for that. So I'm going and getting chicken. I want to show you guys this because I feel like I haven't offended enough people with half-ass repair work. So I was driving this morning. I didn't film any of this. I'm just cruising along, you know, full throttle because the wind's crazy, 30 pounds of boost. And the throttle pedal goes out. The thing goes to the floor and there's no pressure on it. I'm just like, my cable just snapped, and I'm like, nah, whatever. So I pulled over to the side of the road, right? It was freezing. It was like 21 degrees, right? It's windy as hell. I get out and I'm like, all right, let's see what this is. And I'm like, well, the cable's still attached. Everything's like, and I look down and hear the throttle linkage itself. There's a bar that goes from, I'll have to show you, but there's a bar that goes from the thing that the throttle cable goes to back to where the pump fuel actuator, like all that mechanical stuff is. It's snapped in half. So I'm just like, all right, well, let's see what we can come up with. I want to show you guys this concoction. It's kind of cold out there. How dare you only take $99? I know that you'll be able to see it, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. There is, I don't know if you can see it, there's a bar that goes back here. And then there's a bar right there. There's a bar here and it connects to this, okay? And it's being held together with zip ties now. I've been driving like that now for a while now, let's put it that way. At least 4 hours of driving on that, and it has been perfectly fine. So when we get to Minnesota, I have a short little run there, just, you know, just to make some money, because why not? All my money's gone. So I'm gonna be grabbing the welder when I get out in Minnesota, and we're gonna take that off, clean it up real good, and then re-weld it. So we should have no issues there. But I'm gonna go get my receipt and go get me some chicken, because I haven't eaten in a while. So guys, this is how you make your time. 2 hours and 58 minutes on the GPS, 2 hours and 59 minutes on my logbook. Will we make it? Hopefully. I have a full tank of fuel, not a full tank, but like 3/4 of a tank. It says like 315 miles till empty. This says we have 214 miles till we get there. I think I can swing it. I definitely think that it is doable. And then that means that we'll be able to drop off tomorrow, and I'll be able to get a shower tonight. So I should probably make mention that something I really like about this truck is that anything that breaks, I can rig the shit out of it until I'm ready to fix it correctly. Like the throttle linkage, for one. You know, zip ties, duct tape, and super glue have fixed more things on this truck just to get it going until I can actually go and fix it correctly. And it works out. Like, never late. I'm gonna test this theory with the fuel. I have 52 miles till empty, and I have 10 miles till the pilot. Let's see if I can run out of fuel again today. All right, so it's super windy outside. Found the cheapest diesel I could possibly find. This thing's still doing pretty decent. Plate's still chilling. Didn't fall off yet. Aha, good thing I caught that. I'm gonna have to tighten that up. Gonna have to watch stuff like that. Tires are all good. Nothing's falling off the truck. Still have an exhaust tip. Everything's doing relatively well. Carrier bearing's still holding up, besides that little mishap this morning. Imagine cruising down the highway, full throttle, 30 pounds of boost, just cruising, and out of nowhere, you just lose all acceleration. It's kind of neat feeling, actually. It's just so that happened. But we're filling up now, and I'm gonna go to pilot. We're gonna be done for the day. I got 8 hours till we drop, so definitely gonna drop tomorrow no matter what happens. And unfortunately we don't get paid till next Wednesday, so that sucks, but it is what it is. So it'll be nice getting an extra check next week. So other than that, I'm pretty much out of things to show. Oh, that's right, these things. So I was asked, this one's obviously like, these are just kind of like semi-style chops. They're not really supposed to be on pickup trucks, but I did get a bunch of questions about how I make the window covers back there. And I went yesterday. You can get this stuff for like 25 bucks. It's a big, it's 24 inches long by, I don't know how long, like 25 feet or something. I don't even really remember, but it's really cheap. Make sure you get the tape with it, just in case you rip something. Like you can see, I had to buy the shorter section before, so I actually had to tape a section to it. Same with like the fronts and all that. So just get the tape, and if you have like a back window handle, I like to use the tape and tape around the inside as well, so that it like covers it, so it kind of like belongs there. So I highly recommend that. I was gonna build one for the front today, just to do like, I wanted to do, I don't know if I'll do 6 or 8. 8 seems a little excessive. I think that'll put me like down to here. I want to do like probably 6 or 7 inches up here, and then like cut around like my easy pass and all that. So, but they're super easy to make. Load Miser did an excellent video on how to actually do that and actually cut them out. I just did a video reviewing them, and this guy here, you can see this literally just pulls across every night. Now picture that if I have my piece that goes across there, so that'll cover the top section of it. Usually I just do this, and then I like to hang like my sunglasses, I like to hang them up here. But aside from that, that is pretty much everything to do with it. They're super simple, they're self-explanatory. The first ones that you make will be a pain, because you have to like figure out how you want to do this. And my first set, like, it was too, I didn't have enough room down here, so it kind of like a little bit of light would show up here and then a little bit of light up here. So it was kind of a pain to figure that out, because this isn't a straight down, this actually comes at an angle. So the first couple that you make are going to be the most difficult. When you go to make the next set, figure out where you did wrong and where you need to add material or take material away, and then you can do that. It's easier to take away than it is to add, because if you got to add, then you start getting out the tape, and the tape does not do very well over time. Like you can see there's holes in it and whatnot. So, but that's pretty much those. Other than that, truck's doing great. We're making money, we're spending money. You know, we're not setting the world on fire by any means, but I definitely have a lot of things in the background going on that I don't want to talk to people about, because people think I'm crazy for doing the stuff that I do. But anybody that wants to wonder where all my money goes, I can't touch most of my money because I have it stored away. So I have it elsewhere, let's just put it that way. I know I've made this point before. I try to stretch every single dollar as much as possible. There is no truck that I can get that is cheaper than this one, even with all of the breakdowns. $1,000 a month that I could put into a truck payment, I can take that $1,000 and whatever is gonna break on the truck, and I can invest that as opposed to doing this. So a bunch of stuff going on in the background that, you know, it's probably obvious, but I just prefer not to talk about it to people, because there are people that think I'm crazy for doing it. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be doing this full time forever. Hell, even in a year or so, I mean, we'll see where I'm at in a year. The plan is to be done doing this full time by March, but we shall see. I have plans in the background that should be pretty set up by then. So just gonna keep trying to make content. Let me know what you guys want to see. You guys seem to like the shit shows, so I definitely appreciate that. That's why the title of this video has something to do with the throttle cable, and keeps getting more you guys in. You guys keep subscribing, and I appreciate you. This channel has never grown so fast, so appreciate you guys. Safe travels. Appreciate the guys that even leave negative comments. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Safe travels. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.